Good afternoon. I am here. Keith Andrews. I made it this week. I'd like to thank Rich and everybody last week for having good discussions when I just abandoned you guys because I had to go get awards at our state meetings that we had last week. It was pretty good. Yolanda's on the meeting here as well today. She got awarded for being in the top 2 or 3 or 4 of the state when it comes to commercial. So we both thank all those who helped us succeed. I mean, we all do help each other succeed. We refer business to each other, or we help each other out on explaining how to get this thing done or whatever. That happens sometimes too, right? But anyways, I'm trying to come back into the groove here. Today is February 12th. Is this a very interesting day for anybody? February 12th this year, or just February 12th any year? Well, I can tell you what's happening
before, what do you call that? Valentine's Day.
It's 2 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was going to bring up that fact that I don't care if you're a man or a woman, gives you a couple of days. This is probably one of the days you're supposed to try to remember to tell all your buddies and your friends and everybody else that they need to know that Valentine's Day is going to be on Friday, and that it's very possible that the love of their life is probably expecting something. So you might want to remind all your friends that, since we got a couple of days, right? And today's a full moon day. I'm not sure how much of the country is going to see the full moon. I think maybe out there where Rich is. I don't know if you guys got sunshine today or not, but you have a full moon coming your way, so that's a good thing. So I see one person I was kind of hoping he could unmute himself to tell us about himself, but it's just not happening, it looks like. So
I'm here.
He is unmuted.
I'm at the airport in Atlanta. So
I don't think anybody knows who you are, big guy. What do you think?
everybody knows who I am.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you got your in Florida and Alabama. We like that.
Yes. As for those who don't know me, I'm Tim Bell from Pensacola, Florida, and I'm an advisor for Alabama and Florida. And yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
I'm at
You
the.
actually came from the residential world, didn't you?
I did, yes. I was over there for a few years and made the leap.
Yeah. A lot of people have heard me say this multiple times. I'm just going to say it again. I'm going to take advantage of the recording, and we might have new people watching this after we do this today. But I'm going to tell you what we do in commercial, and all the rest of you are probably going to argue with me. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think it is half as hard as what the residential people deal with, because they deal with emotion and they deal with people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't have to do that. So that's my stance. Everybody else can argue with me. That's okay. That's what I believe. So welcome, Tim. Welcome
No
to
arguments
the easy
here.
world.
You're right on the mark.
Yeah. Lot to learn, but
Yes.
I just think it's easier. All right. So
Keith, before you go further, today is Abe Lincoln's birthday.
Abe Lincoln. I think most of us knew who that are. Well, know of who that is. We've never met him that I'm aware of. So yes, and Monday will be a holiday, and might as well announce at the beginning of this recording. It's been all over workplace. EXP won't be open on Monday. That would be all the staff people. You know, people get W-2s, people get salaries, people get paid. They're not around for us. Now, we always have, now Dana can verify that, there's always somebody, like a broker on call in each state to help, but the support crowd and all that, I'm really not sure how you get things done on a holiday. I don't know. Do you know, Dana, if there's anything unique about that?
I'm always here for you, but yeah, I wouldn't plan on getting too much done on Monday. So if you need anything done, I would get it through end of this week, or else wait until Tuesday.
Okay. And Rich, I do know that my note taker took notes of that meeting. You short and sweet. It looked like you guys talked about a bunch. Was there anything that came up last week that you guys may want to ask this week, or get clarification, or have us add to? I read through the notes, but Nothing? Okay.
Keith, one
Yeah.
more thing, apologize. I want to give a really thank you, big thank you to Cindy Glazer. That lady is so much on the ball that, you know, she gets the commission checks from the closing attorney, say at 12 o'clock. By 1:32, the money is in your bank account. And that's an amazing task. And I take my hats off to that lady. I mean, she's always pleasant when uh, you know, converse with her via text and all that, and even in person. Very just amazing. I just want to say thank you, EXP, for having somebody like her in charge of
Yeah,
paying the commission
she's
to
helped me
the
on other
broker.
things as well. Yeah, absolutely. But you did bring up a point, Max, and I think this is fairly new, Dana, isn't it? This every 2 hours they're looking at the transactions, and if it's closed and there's a copy of check in there, you're getting paid. Is that what do we call that? That started what, this month or what?
I don't know when that started or what, but I know the transactions team is on top of it. As long as you're sticking to the timelines in there, they're on it. In fact, I have a deal that's supposed to close escrow and it was postponed, and they had already sent all of the closing, you know, the CDA and everything to the title company before I could even, you know, update, you know, change the date in the in Sky Slope. So they're on it. They're very responsive and helpful.
Yep.
Well, go ahead, Max. What are you gonna say?
No, that's it. That's it. You
Okay.
know,
Well, no,
they're
really.
amazing.
Yeah, they're calling this something I heard the phrase over the last week or so, and I know somebody who's going to watch this recording later on staff's going to know. But what they say, like from 7 to 7 each day, they're going to be reviewing every 2 hours. And if you closed and you put your stuff in the computer, the copies, they're going to pay you that day up to a
Yep.
certain time frame, right? Like they pay at like 1 o'clock, and at 5, I can't remember. I don't know, but that's over the last week or so, which I think is fantastic.
They're on the ball.
Yeah,
On the
and
ball.
actually, one of the people that I actually had the opportunity to bring into the company recently, she came from another commercial company where she would get paid directly from them. No, from the closing table, from whoever the closing agent is, and she could go take it and deposit it herself. I said, well, we have direct deposit. And she was saying, oh, this is not going to be good. I'm not going to get paid as quick as I wanted to. And then last week I checked in with her, and I said, hey, you know, we got this new thing. You might want to be, you know, be on the lookout whenever you start. She already did a closing. She's been with us like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and she's already created a transaction that had a closing and got paid within minutes. After she uploaded that thing, she was shocked. And I said, well, welcome to EXP Commercial. Yes, that's a new enhancement, I guess, that quick. Anyway, so look, I don't want to just get off on crazy little tangents. Of course, this is all good for all of us to know. I think everybody here is with EXP. We don't have any guests on today. I know, again, this recording goes out and people send that out to their guests and stuff. But I want to take advantage of a couple of people that are here right now. Just real quick, Dan Clatt. If you got opportunity, a few minutes here, talking about the Church Guy Network, yesterday I sent you an email, right? And that email was from a lender reaching out to myself and probably Tim Bell, probably got the same email. I don't know, because guy's based in the Florida Panhandle, and he's trying to say, look, if you got any churches or you got any of this or that going on, you know, we're lenders for that. You know, love for you to reach out to us. So what do? I send that to Dan. And Dan, why did I send that email to you?
Because we put them in the network. We have a number of lenders that specialize in churches. There's not very many lenders that specialize in churches. Over the last 22 years, I've picked up a few and joined a brokerage also to provide loans for churches. For them good money.
Wow.
So
Yeah, so Dan, I mean, you're talking now, we got a couple of years and we're gonna have other years after recording. Real quick. If I just hear somebody say the word church, I should think of you, right? I should think of you and Barbara, I should think of the Church Guide Network. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the words out of their mouth are about church. Somehow, some way, plugging that person or that property into your network benefits you, benefits me, benefits the client, benefits whoever, right? You want to explain that real quick to anybody? Or did I just do it?
are you talking about the referral?
The
No,
Church Guy
I'm sorry.
Network, the Church Guy Network, and
Yeah,
yeah,
so real quick, this is pretty a good thing to remember. About 20% of the people that you do business with are involved in the church. And that's a pretty high number. They're
Yeah.
involved in a church somewhere, 20% of the public. And of course, a referral, a church referral can be bigger than a residential full community. Pretty easy. And but anyway, so we have about 49,000 pastors in our network, and we do direct mail. So we communicate directly with the buyers and the sellers, eliminating even agents in the link and other brokerages like that. So it kind of trims it down, and our network is growing just real rapid. Some of you guys met Jorge Blas. He was on our meetings a few times. He had not joined EXP yet, but he was already working with me directly. Anyway, he passed away on the day after Christmas.
oh man,
And so I've been kind of having my eyes out for someone else to help me. The Lord dropped Eric Bashford in my lap. So we're kind of teaming up. He's becoming a more integral part of the Church Guy Network, and working our system, and we'll be marketing him as a
wait,
and all
Dan,
that stuff.
your audio's in and out a little bit. Did you say Eric?
Oh, Eric Bashford.
Yeah,
Bashford,
right here on
right
the
there.
meeting. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we're putting a deal together, and he's going to become an integral part of our operation.
Excellent. So Tim Bell, I'm kind of proud of Tim. He's actually doing a few things that I try to practice and others try to do. But all of a sudden, how many church opportunities popped up on you this week? Let's see if we can unmute this time.
Church opportunities.
Or you were mentioning it to me the other day.
Well, we have the one listing, so I was just going ahead and I did a market search for other churches in the area. So I've reached out to those agents, and I've talked with a couple of them just to get some insight into how their world's going, and how things are going. In addition to if somebody comes to look at the listing we have, maybe
Yeah.
and aren't interested, maybe something they have would be a good fit. So just familiarizing myself with their listing, because we're both kind of in that same world right now. So
Excellent. For those who don't know this, Tim's busy walking through the Atlanta airport.
yeah, sorry about that. I just had to run away from the speaker.
I understand. Yes. Yeah. It's okay. I didn't mean to bug you there, Tim. You go
No.
ahead. Just listen in again. So, another thing that's happened over the last couple of weeks, I've been pretty fascinated with. I'm just telling you what I've been experiencing. Several EXP Realty agents and brokers have reached out to me through whatever channels, workplace, text, email, and they have opportunities. And as I look at each one of those, what's happening is I'm realizing it's actually coming from my responses on workplace inquiries as you go through some of those workplace pages, and people are asking questions, and I see the word commercial or whatever, and sometimes I respond, sometimes I chat them directly, and I don't know. It's kind of like what I keep saying over and over and over for the last 4 years. It's like they're our number one source of business. If you're not like Rich or I or Blair or Dan, where we've been around for, or Max even, where we've been around for 30, 40 years, we've already got a client base before we got here. But I'm going to tell you I'm going to stand on another comment I made. It's the number one source of business for all of us at EXP if you want it to be.
Hey, Keith, if I could just interject just
Go ahead,
along those
Rich.
lines. Young man called me, his name is Boyan out of, I believe, Chicago. And I can't even pronounce his last name, but he called me last week. He said he had a buyer for a deal in Texas. I gave him a deal that I've been working on, and he and I just submitted an LOI for 25 million yesterday.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it's a good LOI, by the way. It's pretty much where the buyer or the seller wants it at, so we'll see where it goes. But the point is that, you know, the people just reach out, and we've got a hell of a network, so
Yeah,
take
it's
advantage
huge.
of it. This
Yeah,
came out of the blue for me.
yeah. Well, you just keep up what you're doing. And before we get off of Rich, go ahead and announce what starts in March for you.
Oh, thank you, Keith. Yeah,
Yes.
this is a plug. March 4th at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. We are launching the Deal Exchange. It'll be on Zoom. It's going to be 30 minutes. My Sperry compatriots, Max and Keith, you guys know how we used to do this exactly the same way. Tuesday mornings, 8:30 for half an hour. It's going to be 30 minutes. That's it. If there's one thing I've learned in 40 years in this business is that brokers have the attention span of a gnat. So I don't want to make it an hour-long deal. So it'll be 30 minutes. And it's going to be deal presentations if you have a listing that you'd like to promote, or if you have an off market that you'd like to promote. And I'll go over some of the rules and regulations on the call. There's no daisy chains allowed. So please, unless you're direct to the seller on an off market, that's the only one that we want to present. But it's going to be a great opportunity for you if you have inventory. Also, we're going to do a buyer wants and needs too. So if you have a buyer, if you're in a 1031 exchange, for example, you've got a client in 1031 exchange looking for inventory. And I'm really beginning to see things open up since the election, since the first of the year with everything. So the timing of this, I think, is pretty good. We always had a lot of success with it. I know there was a handful of deals we got done over the years on Sperry with that call. And I think it's good. You got to put it on your calendar. We're going to do it the first and third Tuesdays of every month. So March 4th is the first. Put it on your calendar. It's 30 minutes. And again, especially if you are working, across state lines, if you are, there's going to be a lot of shared inventory and opportunities for you to plug in with when someone has a listing, an off-market deal. Maybe you have a buyer for it. So I'm really hoping that this takes off. Jim's pretty confident that we're going to have a whole ton of people in the next couple of months. So if you have a deal, email me, reach out to me, and I will give you the form to fill out. Tom Truong's team will do all the work for you. They will create the flyer. All you have to do is show up and present. So again,
Oh,
it's
Rich, yeah, go ahead and put my name. I have a deal for you.
fabulous.
So what do I need to do? Send it to you, or you just
I have
send
a
it?
form for you to fill out, Keith. It's a
Send
simple form, and when you fill it out and hit, you hit send or whatever, or enter, then it goes right to Tom's team, and they will create the flyer for you.
What about, where I saw your announcement on our workplace pages? Why don't you put that form on there?
I will. I'm finalizing it as we speak, but I will.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks,
Any
Keith.
questions for Rich on that before I get to Paul? Go ahead, Rich. Any questions for Rich? Okay, Paul, what did you want to say?
So I just want to let people know about a week ago, Monday, my upline, Jay and Ashley Nelson, who are big out of the Nashville area, but they have agents throughout the country. They put on what's called a mastermind retreat in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, outside of Knoxville in the Smoky Mountains. I was going to go, then because of my surgery, I wasn't going to go. But one of our realty agents, not too far from me here in Nashville, had a potential listing of a hotel next door to that retreat. So we did go to the retreat, did go to the hotel listing. There's some things to work on over there, but going back to the realty agents giving us referrals, I came out of that about 100, 125 agents. I got 2, possibly 3 potential deals out of it. Up in Ohio, marina development on a lake, the hotel, and some other stuff. So I agree, and I'm always cheerleading this too with Keith. Get involved with your realty people, whether it be local or your upline or sideways, whatever you got to do. They gave me some time on stage. Oh, one more thing. He gave me about a 40-minute interview on stage in front of everybody. Then he gave me a little room off to the side to do a 1 hour, I forget what you call it, like an extended time where people could come over. We could talk about commercial. There were about 3 agents that want to come to commercial. They wanted to know more about it. So we were preaching the
Like they need
gospel of
mentors, Max.
EXP commercial.
They probably need mentors, Max.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys that have been doing it for a while.
Yeah. Well, great. So let me just okay. The culture in EXP is, believe it or not, servant leadership. Now, if you don't understand what servant leadership is, read the New Testament of the Bible. You get out of that, you understand what servant leadership is. With that being said, EXP Realty and EXP Global or International, that's their new name, EXP International. We are servants to them. We are a resource that they can do more with their client than just deal with housing. So don't ever put yourself above them. Don't make them feel like you're above them, because you're not. You're not. And I've seen it both ways. And so I thought I'd emphasize that today because it needs to be emphasized. So when you are communicating with anybody, any person on the planet about you, what you do, and how you can help somebody they might know, keep a servant leader heart. Keep it mellow, be good, and move forward. Because you're the one asking. Go ahead, Paul.
One other thing. The people at that retreat that were realty, and even Jay Nelson himself was very involved, very connected. As we were talking, I mentioned the domestic team where one spouse could be in commercial, one spouse could be in a realty. We just blew their minds. Jay didn't know about that. He did a mic drop. You got all these people where sometimes husband and wife are a team. And just like you invited me years ago, Keith, hey, check out commercial and do both. One does commercial, one does realty.
Yeah. All right. Any comments in any of this right now? Everybody's good?
I would say, thanks for
Drew.
that, Paul. Tim. Hey, yeah, good to see you. It's been a while. Tim and Dina Pugh are a great example of that in Nashville, right?
Yes.
They go by Tina, and one does residential, one does commercial.
Yeah, but your better example is Paul and Lisa. Because we
Exactly.
see them. Tim and Dina, we don't ever get to see them. They don't show up.
Well, and some people don't know this, but when you do that arrangement with EXP Commercial, Lisa, my wife, does not have to pay her $85 a month. She comes in kind of under me, so to speak. I just pay my $500 now. And her first deal to whatever deal she does in her calendar year, she's at 100%. So she doesn't have to pay 20% like they used to if you have this arrangement. So it benefits the team. And instead of paying 20 grand cap and 16 grand cap, which is 36, now you're just paying the 20 grand a year. So it's very advantageous to a married couple.
Okay, I didn't know that, Paul. I didn't know about the $85 not being there.
Yeah, realty pays 85 a month. We used to pay 250, now we pay 5.
Right.
We get CoStar. So Lisa doesn't have to pay that. So take that off my 500 a month, and then she gets 100% commission check less a transaction fee of 250. So
yeah, the 80, yeah, that wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it helps a partnership, a domestic partnership.
Wow. Okay. Questions on that, people? Everybody good? Rich, put the flyer in on the chat. If you want to zoom in on that QR, if you want to join us on the kickoff of the deal exchange.
And Keith, by the way, that's a great recruiting tool for all you guys. You might say, hey, I don't care. My wife or my husband's not in this. But when you're talking to other commercial agents, some of them do have spouses, a great recruiting tool to make a comment on that.
That would also include the brokers of the brokerage that they may be hanging their license at. A lot of those have, husbands and wives working together, right? I came across that the last week or so. So it's pretty interesting. Gives you totally different things to talk about. All right. Let me take advantage of you being here. We got 15 minutes on the recording. Did somebody have a wonderful thing happen to them in the last 2 weeks that we need to know because we're going to learn from that? Or did somebody have an opportunity to where they have to learn something and they need us to help them learn that for that opportunity? Anybody got anything?
Keith, I forgot to ask you about when do the 20,000 commercial brokers get their 20,000 refunded? At what level of a CGI?
So when you're an icon in commercial,
Okay.
once you make
Which is?
icon, you immediately get 12,000 in stock. Then you
Okay.
have all the next 12 months or whatever to do the cultural points and whatever they call that, where you keep grabbing 2,000 more, 2,000 more, 2,000 more, 2,000 more, and you're done. So it's a course of like a year, but the majority of it happens pretty quick, like the next month after you became an icon.
What is the level for the icon?
What is the level?
Yeah.
You got to get to 500,000 GCI
Okay.
minimum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. And then there's also, I don't know what the terminology is. I keep forgetting, but there's like another $5,000 that has to be, is that our case in commercial now? Did that change? Somebody told me something different like last week. I don't know. You can reach out to operations and ask Max, but if you know you're heading
Okay.
on 500,000, rock and roll, brother. I love you.
Yeah, one other thing too, guys, if anybody's confused or needs more information, sometimes I do. If you go to YouTube, EXP commercial, most of those meetings are taped, and the business platform that we're on, that's all explained once in a while. We
Yeah.
can go there and review those.
Yep. Hey, let's talk about real quick some of the things that are coming up that we should know about and we should plan for. There's 3 regional rallies that commercials playing a major part in. One in Vegas, one in Houston, one in DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. The dates are out there. It's on Workplace. I sent the link out to several of my people. I probably sent it out. I don't know who all I sent it to, but Vegas is May 1st. Houston, I forgot now. It's like between May 1st and May 14th, all 3 of these. You should try to either come to one of those 3 or come to the one nearest you. There's like 12 or 13 other regional rallies going on that the alphas and top producers or whatever agents and brokers in our both companies are trying to get together and put together. We do this once a year, and it's a reward ceremony. It's publicly saying how great you are, if you've done this or that or all these things. First time to do a deal. There's all kinds of things going on there. Biggest thing is there's hundreds and hundreds of people there. Opportunity to connect. Just like Paul was saying in his organization, 100, 125 of them. So, but these have bigger attendance. So Blair and Eric are working on the next IRL that's up in their part of the country, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. It's going to be in Pennsylvania, right, Blair? Right, Eric? You want to say anything about it? No, nobody wants to say anything.
Blair,
Go
you
for
want
it.
to jump on that? All right, so we do have one coming up. It's gonna be the King of Prussia, Pennsylvania area. It is May 1st. We're getting some national speakers, and we'll get some more information as we get more information out there.
May 1st. Okay.
May 1st,
In the Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia area.
Okay. Which means Pennsylvania. Even though we're right on the border there. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anybody want us to know about? I can tell you the EXP cons that are coming up. Yeah, Canada, You got international, it's gonna be in Barcelona this time, and then you got Miami. Miami's in October. This is February. I strongly encourage any of us to show up at EXPCOM US, EXPCOM Miami. I strongly urge that. You can plan now, set aside, $1,000 a week so you can get there. No, it's not quite that much, but so
Hey Keith, can I mention something about that topic?
yes, you can.
So the first round of getting a ticket cheaper, the introductory was up to January 30th or 31st. I bought one for my wife and I, and being in the hospital for a month, I didn't have a lot of activity financially. So I went online to EXPCon to buy a ticket. You only had to put down $250 to reserve your spot and get the discounted fee. And then you could pay the rest by August or something like that. So now they're on the next level, which is still a discount. And eventually it's going to go to full price. So if you're waiting on a commission check or you're in between, go on there for $250 and get a ticket to reserve your spot, pay the balance off in August and get to EXPCon in October.
For those of us who are mentors, it's an excellent time to meet people. Because they start talking to you about coming into commercial and they're looking for a mentor, classic example, I'm minding my own business and some guy named Drew that's on this call, we get put together by his sponsor who's out of Vancouver, Canada, who I met the year before, says, Drew's coming in. He needs a mentor, Keith. And I said, well, great. We kind of talked to each other for a few minutes while we're hanging out there, having refreshments. Was that an EXPCon or was that a shareholders meeting? I think it was probably shareholders. Yeah. Hi, Jackie.
Yeah, that was May 2022, I think. Or
That
no, May
long ago?
2023. May 2023.
It was not
Yeah.
20. Okay.
It was the shareholder con in Orlando. Yeah.
Okay. So, there are different reasons to attend these regional rallies, these EXP cons. It's all about you. It's all about your business plan. There's multiple revenue streams possible. There's co-sponsorship. It was announced at Miami on stage. Glenn said that. What does co-sponsorship mean? That means people in other countries and you reaching out to the country leader and they'll find some local agent in their crowd that will be a sponsor of the person, but it's a co-sponsorship because you get revenue share as well from that person because you introduced them to EXP and they took care of them over there. Same thing happens, but in reverse. All those people over there, if they know Keith, who they do know, they know Keith because they met him at EXPCon. That would be me. And now if they have people in the Southeast US, they might remember me and say, hey, Keith, I got somebody I'm bringing on board. Can you be the other sponsor there and handle it? Why would I not do that, right? It's building rev share. I mean, here's the point of that topic and anything else about revenue share, icons, whatever. The company is agent centric. The company makes money. They want to give it back to us. The extra money they have, they want to give it back to us. They can do it in stock and they can do it in revenue share. They can't give it back to us if we don't take advantage of getting stock or working in the revenue share type of world. It's up to you though. If you're here just to do major transactions, rock and roll.
Keith, that's also the EXP Con convention. I haven't done this yet, but if somebody's got an advisor on the other side of a transaction and you talk to them about EXP, you may want to invite them to that. I think it's either free or they get a guest pass for a couple $100. Maybe you
it's free. EXP Con are free. Yeah.
Okay.
Free to them. They don't pay registration. You're allowed to invite one person.
Right, but I'm told by people like Tom Truong and that you get somebody to EXPCon, it's a 95% chance they're going to sign on to EXP. You just let the conference do everything for you, the excitement of it.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. My person, she was on board in the first hour or so, in the first day. That was before we even did everything. Speaking of which, what's that? Oh, Max is talking to somebody. Okay. At EXP Con this year in Miami, the day before is all about us. The entire day, we call them the EXP Com day at EXP Con. It's the commercial day, the day before. So if you're making your plans to be in Miami, and we're gonna do that EXP Com day is the 19th, the day before the 20th, or the day before the welcome reception where it kicks off. You need to come in the day before that. You need to show up on the 18th. I believe those are the dates, right, Dana? I think it is. Yeah.
October 20th, I know is the first day of EXP.
EXP. Yeah. So you need to be there all day the 19th if you want to be there for the commercial. So show up on the 18th. Just giving you a heads up. It's all about commercial, even anybody EXP, any of your guests, they're not in commercial, they can come to that full day of commercial.
There is so much interest. So I sit in the commercial lobby every day for a couple of hours at least. I was there actually this morning, and then I'll be back again this afternoon. There we get so many realty agents coming into the commercial lobby looking for help and how to do transactions and stuff. And I have to either send them back to their broker in realty or let them know to contact somebody on the commercial side for help, for referrals and stuff like that. So I think it's a good opportunity to market to just to reach out to some of the people in your states and just remind them that you do commercial and that you're here to help, because there's a lot of commercial opportunities for people in realty are being presented with, and some don't know how to do these transactions. My fear is that they might be obviously not knowing what they're doing in the transaction, but also that they might just turn that referral away.
There you go. Anything else before I turn off the recording? Nobody wants, you want the rest of the world to know? Anybody? No? All right, well, let me kill the recording and then we can talk amongst ourselves.